I want to get better at Fortnite, and one of the best ways to do that is to learn a location on the map inside and out by dropping there 100 times. This time we'll be taking on Greasy Grove, the fast food district of the Fortnite map. And as always, I want to shout out YouTuber TheNotable, who was the first to undertake the 100 drops challenge. A link to his channel will be in the description of this video. But I don't want to waste everyone's time with the intro. I dropped Greasy Grove 100 times, and this is what happened. Here we are at game number 1, dropping into Greasy Grove. Some of my friends were on, so we're starting out this 100 drops with a bit of squads. I started out by landing on this red brick house, grabbed a burst AR and gunned down a guy just trying to open his first chest. I dealt with his friend soon after. This first game almost immediately taught me that even though Greasy Grove is kind of out of the way on the Fortnite map, a lot of people still like to drop here. It also taught me that harvesting all the cars in Greasy Grove can set you up with a huge amount of metal for the rest of the match. We looted up and rotated straight towards Tilted Towers as we moved away from the storm. It's Tilted Towers, what did you expect? Of course there were people here. Our squad worked well together though, and we were able to survive Tilted Towers. I should actually probably mention that one of these teammates is a random, so we can't talk to him, we're using PlayStation chat. One of the team goes down as the storm closes, and unfortunately we're forced to flee. But the enemies following us are ruthless, and as we run to the storm, we just start getting picked off one by one. By the time I make it to Dusty Depot, I've only got one reboot card, so I quickly bring him back. The guy I've just rebooted is my brother, and we quickly decide amongst ourselves that given he only has a grey pistol and no shields, he's going to sneak back and try and get the rest of the team's reboot cards while I wait on the van to respawn everybody. It was a risky play, but somehow the madman actually pulled it off, so I reboot everyone and we make a break for the circle. But we're attacked again the second we get to zone, and I don't make it. I watch everyone else get absolutely slaughtered. Well, everyone except the random. And it turns out the Big T111 is an absolutely legendary Fortnite player, because this man clutches the 3v1 for the Victory Royale. Oh my god. Yeah, he gets the credit this time. I've never gotten back-to-back wins in a 100 drops video, so in game number 2, I was determined to make it happen. We were able to clear out Greasy Grove relatively easily and bagged all the loot for ourselves. There was actually quite a few people here this match. Rotated into Tilted again and went about putting that minigun to work. Its wrath is inescapable. We made it to the last few circles and boxed up in a massive metal base in the middle of zone. The last team tried to hide, but I could see them. And after a bit of fighting, we were able to secure the back-to-back Victory Royales. It feels good to finally be able to say that. In game number 3, we're playing a bit of duos. This should probably go without saying, but the Der Burger restaurant at the top of Greasy Grove has a load of loot for you if you can take it from the enemy. I generally didn't drop here a lot because you often get a lot of people just flooding the place. It's better to move in after you've secured a bit of loot in case there's still people hiding inside. But even with exceptional loot, we couldn't keep our win streak going. And in game number 4, we just couldn't overcome the violent streets of Greasy Grove. Game number 5, I'm pretty sure this guy phased through my ramp. Oh, well, I'm dead now. And in game number 6, I used this RPG to give myself a one-way ticket back to the lobby. Game number 7, I tried to have a well-spirited build fight before being shot out. We died. Game number 8, I couldn't see anything, I had no mats, and oh, now I'm dead. Game number 9 started out with some killing. And then I was killed. Game number 10 came down to a massive battle outside of Salty Springs, but unfortunately for me, these guys were better at the game. We did not last much longer. In game number 11, I was gunned down in the streets while running for safety. Game number 12, I'm in solos and rocking the new Sub-Zero Tier 100 skin. But I'm still trash. I started out game 13 by grabbing a nice few kills. And I kept that momentum going through most of the match. I definitely found that if you manage to dominate Greasy, you'll be leaving with a lot of kills under your belt and some alright loot. But all my kills mean nothing when I see players doing stuff like this. I then fell to my death trying to escape that very same player. In game 14, the enemy had shields, and I definitely didn't. I'm gonna take game 15 to point out my favourite loot spot in Greasy Grove. This house right here with the doghouse in the back has 3 chests. One's in the roof, one's in the left-hand side roof, and one's at that doghouse. This place can get you a good loadout pretty much instantly, which is going to be invaluable in fighting all of the bloodthirsty inhabitants of Greasy Grove. So I did just that, fighting player after player until I pushed it into the later zones. Circle was closing around Retail Row, and I could hear players who sounded like they were way better at building than me fighting each other just above my head. I ended up in an interlocking web of builds as the storm closed around me. Then one of the last remaining players wandered right past me, so with a single shot I sent him back to the lobby. Now it's a 1v1, but I've just been hit with a rocket and now I've got no HP. I desperately dodged around this guy's attacks and managed to hit a beautiful shotgun blast, claiming the victory royale. I was feeling confident in game 16, so I dropped straight back into Doghouse for round 2. I then got to work clearing out Greasy Grove. I also managed to accidentally boogie bomb myself, which is a great showcase of my ability to play this game. I still got him though. I was boxed up in a top 3 situation trying to work out where the other players actually were. One of the guys died in Storm and I was immediately rushed by the last player in the match. This guy was pretty sweaty and we got to build fighting. With the way this guy was building up on me, I thought there was absolutely no hope, but Storm forced us to rotate and I reclaimed the high ground. I unleashed a flurry of rockets, trying as hard as I could to keep this dude below me. And sometimes the high ground is all you need to claim that win. That's back-to-back wins for the 2nd time, come on. But then in game 17, I was immediately put back in my place. Game 18, I made it to the top 3, but my opponent was pretty good at editing. Game 19, I went through this wall only to get jumped immediately. And in game number 20, I was acquainted with this sniper bullet. Game 21 started with a bit of open warfare in Greasy Grove. But thanks to spamming my tactical shotgun like a madman, I was able to come out on top. I then didn't see that many people, so I just spent a lot of the game farming mats. Made it to top 5 and dropped a cheeky snipe on this guy. Yep, and he's dead. I then saw 2 insanely sweaty players having an equally sweaty build fight, so I did the dishonourable thing and shot them out. Look, in my defense, those players would have absolutely destroyed me. 1v1 time and I grabbed my 2nd cheeky snipe of the match. I could smell the fear, so I pushed in to try and get that kill. I sprayed at him for so long, but this dude was not going to stop building, so looks like it was going to come down to a heal off. And thankfully my 2 medkits were enough to carry me to victory. But in game 22 I was instantly sweated on. And what do you know, it happened again in game 23. Game 24, I couldn't even make it past the first 5 minutes. Game 25 was going alright with a couple of kills until I got immediately destroyed. In game 26, it's a build fight in the top 2, but unfortunately I completely fumbled. In game 27, I tried to fight a guy, but I'm rubbish. Then in game 28, he had a shotgun. Game 29 doesn't exist because my footage corrupted, but I came 86th place, so I'm pretty sure you can fill in the blanks. And in game 30, I'm right back to losing build fights. Game 31, we're dropping into some duos, but the enemy team is a lot better than us. Game number 32, I was getting kills left, right, and centre. But in the final circle, I got taken down, and my friend was unable to get that win. Game 33, my enemy popped an edit and then deleted my entire health bar. I couldn't even finish looting in game 34 before being murdered. Game 35, I tried to reboot my friend, but then the ravenous inhabitants of Greasy Grove pursued me. Yep, I'm dead. I hopped into solos for game 36. I should have remembered how sweaty it is. I pushed into a crazy final circle in game 37 and saw this guy hiding behind a tree, so I put him out of his misery. Then someone put me out of mine. Game 38, I'm trying a minigun. It did not work. Started game 39 with the great purging of Greasy Grove. And like I said before, remember to always farm those cars. Decided to employ the elite strategy of bush camping for most of the match. Look, I'm playing Fortnite OG for a reason. This is another one of those situations where final circle's getting tiny and you and the enemy are separated by layers and layers of builds. So you know what time it is? It's medkit time. Though, yikes, that health though. Maybe I might be... Oh, never mind. I had to hit the infinite dab after that one. Game number 40, the Beef Boss skin came into the item shop with perfect timing for this video. So now you know we gotta go for those back-to-back wins. I did my usual cleaning out of Greasy, and was that a Season 3 John Wick? Damn. And this poor guy was dispatched in a single shot. Made it into the final circle, and it was quickly turning into an FNCS box fight. I got in some good damage with my rockets, and I was thinking this was going to come down to another heal-off as storm started to close in. But that's when I heard the enemy spamming campfires just below me, so I quickly rushed in, blew his head off, and claimed the back-to-back victory royales. That is the third back-to-back wins in this video. I'm starting to think Greasy Grove is a good location. The winning streak was brutally shot down in game 41. Game 42, I did not get the gun. And in game 43, I was abruptly introduced to this guy's shotgun. Game 44, I made it to an intense top 4 situation. But unfortunately for me, that's as far as I'd make it this match. Back in the bush in game 45. But then this inconsiderate player shot it straight off, so I had to execute him. Then this guy tried to launch pad away from me and forgot I was playing on controller.
What? Controller player is? I knew it!
This game was going to come down to a final build fight, and across these videos I've gotten a lot of practice, so I was able to get that win. But then in game 46 I got sniped. Game 47, I was completely humiliated by this boogie bomb. And no, I don't want to talk about it. Game 48, he was just better. Game 49. Then in game 50, I got jumped by this woolly mammoth. Game 51, me and my brother jumped into some duos, and we also jumped straight into 30th place. Game 52, I'm being shot at from all sides, and I try to flee, only to then get shot again. Game 53 was going just like any other game with some brutal firefights in Greasy Grove. But after we got done killing this enemy duo, our food got delivered, so we just spent the rest of the game sat in a box eating. This is what happens when you put nourishment above Fortnite. You lose. Game 54, we got cooked harder than that meal we just consumed. Thanks, Mugglestone. Game 55 was not any better. Game 56, I'm playing some squads with my brother, a friend, and a random called Grom. Turns out Grom's a traitor as he started a skybase and tried to shoot out my friend before then immediately falling to his own death. I'm not happy, Grom. Not happy. Don't worry, we still revived him. Don't know what this team would be without Grom's emotional support. We took high ground and then proceeded to eliminate a bunch of players. Eventually, it got down to us versus 2 guys, and they were both hiding in this little bunker. My brother broke out the minigun, and we got that win. Game 57, we got ourselves onto a hill next to Loot Lake and took sniper fire at the people fighting on the water. And a bit of minigun fire as well. From our high vantage point, we were able to kill pretty much everyone in the lobby and claim another back-to-back victory royales. That is the 4th time in one video I'm losing my mind. But the dream of a win hat-trick died with our team in Game 58. Game 59, the team's dead and I'm caught in a 1v3. I am not that good at Fortnite. And a team of mega sweats deleted us off the face of the earth in Game 60. Game 61, the squad got caught on the edge of storm and we were all killed soon after. In Game 62, I was minigunning with every fibre of my being, but I was still murdered. Game 63, Greasy proved too hostile to handle. Game 64, the circle was closing around Tilted Towers, and as a result, the action was starting to ramp up. Fortunately, as a squad, we were able to push through relatively unharmed. Alright, this guy nearly got me, but still. I'm so glad the Chug Jug's finally out in OG. It got down to us versus one very sweaty player, so I unloaded minigun fire upon his builds. It was a pretty lengthy fight, but we got him in the end for that victory royale. Feels good to take out one of those solid colour superhero skins. But winning against Sweats was not on the agenda in Game 65. We had time to pause for a quick dance break in Game 66. We looted up some supply drops and then got in a little skirmish with another team over Tilted Towers. We pushed in and then engaged in a build fight. And because I'm a moron, I managed to get downed. Lucky for me, my team was there to revive me. Healed up on a campfire and then headed in for round 2. And this time we were able to clutch up for the win. Game 67, it was us versus one other squad, but we kinda messed up on this one. Game 68, we rotated round to the Moisty Mire prison and got absolutely destroyed. I had 12 kills as well, this is a travesty. Game 69. Game 70, I'm back in solos and employing the bush strat. Yeah, it didn't work. In Game 71, my internet took a nosedive and caused me to just stand still getting shot. Yeah, one of the first times I can actually blame my death on lag legitimately. Game 72, I'm in the top 10 and get into a little fight with this guy. And I almost had him. In Game 73, I hop on duos with my friend, but he has to go AFK for a minute, and we both end up dead. I started Game 74 by beating a man to death and was promptly punished for my sins. In Game 75, this guy was pretty good at the game. Game 76, we were pulled up on by the Double Juice World duo. What do you think was gonna happen? Game 77, I'm caught in a 2v1 and it's not looking good. Yeah, I thought so. Game 78, I was popping off and getting quite a few kills throughout the match. I thought we had this game in the bag. That was until I ended up in a 2v1 with one of the craziest duos I've ever seen. Game 79, I jumped into solos and realised quickly I was fighting some pretty good players. This guy gave me a run for my money, but a good shotgun blast has always got your back. And I've no idea what this guy was doing, this had to be a bot. It was a top 2 situation, so I got to ramp rushing. I hit a nice snipe on the last guy and immediately rushed in to press the advantage. The dude put up a good fight, but eventually I got in the only shot of the match that really counts. Oh yeah. Get out! Game 80, it's back to squads, and that means it's back to getting pummeled for second place. Back on squads with the boys in Game 81, and we're basically fighting Fortnite trench warfare. War is hell. And in Game 82, the full force of the lobby was brought down on our heads. This build fight took us to the heavens in Game 83, which is fitting considering I'm dead. Game 84, I was going for a heal off and clearly wasn't paying attention because I started way too early. Yeah, I totally deserve to be dead here. Game 85. Game 86. And Game 87. In Game 88, my opponent survived with 3 HP and I'm not mad at all. Game 89, my opponent rained explosive fire down upon me until I could no longer resist. And you know what? I don't even have to commentate here. Just watch Game 90.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
I'm taking out all of Greasy Grove in Game 91. This match was shaping up to be a good one. Until it wasn't anymore. Game 92, I built up on this guy only to be instantly shot out. I was deleted soon after. Game 93 was quite the intense final circle, and my confidence was not very high. I could see the other players fighting, but I figured I stood no chance against them, so I tried to stay out of the way. But when it became a top 2 situation, I knew it was time to fight, and so I engaged in one of the single sweatiest build fights I've ever been a part of. This guy placed a trap above my head and started emoting, thinking he'd already won the match, but I wasn't going to go down that easily. I foiled 2 attempts to trap me in and just kept on fighting, even on that cripplingly low HP. This fight went on for what genuinely felt like an eternity. I have never been so focused playing a game of Fortnite. I ran out of mats and thought the fight was over, so I decided to go for one last shot, and that last shot ended up winning me the game. This felt so old school Fortnite, my hands were shaking after this. Then game 94 was a bit of a disaster. Game 95, I got to the top 2, and then I got sniped. And in game 96, this guy hiding underneath the stairs made sure I didn't last longer than the first 2 minutes. In game 97, I'd just finished a fight when someone else slipped in to claim an easy kill. And then game 98 was over in the blink of an eye. And I can say the same about game 99. And finally, here we are at game number 100. I started out the match by killing everyone I came across in Greasy Grove. 100 games here have taught me that you can always expect a fight in Greasy, but if you manage to come out on top, you're going to have tons of loot and mats at your disposal. And I used my loot and mats to push into the final circle with a big metal base. You know you're playing OG Fortnite when the game plan to win is to do a sky base. But I did have to sadly move down a bit to try and get a decent shot on these last players. One of these guys killed the other and then rocketed me down to his level. And that was all I needed to pull out a double pump and win game 100. What a great way to end this video. Greasy Grove is a fantastic location, and the non-stop action here has really helped me improve my skills at playing Fortnite. Whilst it's kind of out of the way on the map, if you drop here, be prepared to fight off a lot of enemies. Dropping into Greasy Grove, I was able to get 15 wins, alongside bagging 308 kills across all my games, a new 100 drops record for me. This challenge has been an absolutely brilliant time, and soon I'm going to be heading to another location 100 times. But until then, this has been amazing. That's all, folks.